Hi again, people. Well, so I picked up, I'm usually a 45 guy. I don't have any 9 mils. Well, I can't say that anymore now. I have a 9 mil. So this is what's it called? Faxon? If I can get that in there. Faxon. Faxon. They call it the FX19. So they said it's the same as a Glock, but it's not. And the one major thing that I found different from the Glock for the Takedown is the blocker bar. So I'm going to show you how to take that off because I looked on the internet and there wasn't a video on it. So this little gun comes, I bought it used. It had this. The guy had a Cerakoted Sniper Gray. This is the standard cutout. I think they call it the Patriot version. So it makes it a little bit lighter. It's got the match barrel. It's got the high sights so it can co-witness with your red dot. It's got the different trigger guard so your finger fits in better here and your other hand fits in here better. It's got a grip. Nice little gun. It's basically a Glock 19, which is why I like it. The trigger is super enhanced. Very, very nice. Let me unload it here before I've got some, I don't know, whatever it is, Federal, Hurst, I don't know. It's 134 grain. So all my guns are 45. So this is, being a 9 mil is a lot easier for me to manipulate the slide. 45 has a bigger spring because it's got a heavier bullet, a bigger bullet, and you know, where action there's opposite, equal reaction. Well, let's take this thing apart just like a normal Glock. Make sure it's empty, no mag. And then you got to squeeze the trigger. Trigger is freaking like really nice. Look at this reset on this trigger. Wow. Very nice reset. Anyway. Standard taking down a block, you just need to disengage, take the spring off just a little bit with your hand so you can pull down this little drop bar. Pulls down, slides should come off, no problem. This is the slide spring barrel. I'm not really going to mess with that too much. It does have a nice barrel. I don't know if you can see down it with the light or not because I didn't bring a flashlight. But anyway, maybe I can put my fingernail there. Let's see if that helps. Maybe a little bit. They've got some nice tooling on the match barrel. It looks like it's got a nice recessed crown. Nice little upgrades on this little gun. Again, I got it used. Here's a slide. Same exact as a Glock. No different. Slide, good to go. It's a Glock. Okay? I don't have a problem with that one. There's not one video on how to remove this blocker bar right here. This bar usually comes off very easy on a Glock. It just comes out. On this one, they have a secret extra pin right here. Most Glocks have 3 pins. 1 here and 2 here. These 2. 1, 2, and 3. This one has an extra pin right here which removes this blocker. So this is a little bit of an extended blocker which maybe makes the slide work better, stronger. I'm not sure. But I want to show how to remove this blocker bar here, okay? So I got my little Glock tool in here somewhere. Glock tool. I'm going to remove these 2 pins right here. 1 and 2 on these 2. And again, they usually come out pretty easy. This is kind of a this gun hasn't been apart, so the pins are pretty tight. I noticed that when I took it apart. I oiled them. So that's pin 1 for this blocker bar, and then the pin underneath it. Everybody always has a problem on Glock. You've got to manipulate this little thing right here because this has a small little loop that this pin goes through, and it's got a little bar. You'll be able to see it. I'll show you afterwards. But in order to get this pin out, you got to wiggle this and move it. So sometimes it comes out really easy, sometimes it doesn't. And it took a while, but finally got it out. Okay, So we got this pin out here. This blocker bar will not come off until you remove this second pin. And this pin was pretty good in there. So I had to bang down a little bit. Comes out just a little bit there. I'm going to finish knocking that out because it's hard to push it. So I'm just banging this bottom here and letting it push. I'm not using a whole bunch of force, just a movement. Second pin comes out, and now this blocker bar should slide right out. Sometimes you got to stick in there and pry up a little bit. See it kind of coming out there? And it comes out straight just like that. Very, very tight fit. Now on the regular Glock, this part from here up is gone. Your blocker bar is pretty much this back half. But on this Faxon, they put this longer, a little bit what I consider sturdier bar, and it really does a nice job. Okay? So remember that second pin on this gun? Earlier I told you banging this pin out was a little tough. So it's got this little groove right there, and it has to go through here. So as it goes through here, it's a very tight fit, and then when it gets on there, it won't come out. So when they say wiggle this, you're basically maneuvering this so it'll come off, and it's not caught in this groove right here. Okay? So, and that's how you remove this blocker bar. And of course, putting it back together, pretty much opposite. I'm going to take this back and clean it, but I'll go ahead and set this down in here for you. Goes right back in, snaps right in, push it down. And there's plenty of videos on how to put this back. I don't want to put it all back together because I'm going to go clean it. So, get these out of here. Again, these pins are very, very tight. Really, really tight. So the more I push it in and out, maybe it'll loosen up a little bit. But anyway, nice little gun, Glock 19, pretty much everything except this bar right here. And I think they call it the breaker bar or the whatever they call it. I'll put a little comment when I edit the video. Pull straight up, and it goes in like so. All right, y'all have a good one.